Hello everyone and welcome to TaiyangNews. This is Bhambhani, the senior editor at TaiyangNews, and I'm happy to have you all at the first in-person event of TaiyangNews, the Solar Technology Conference, and that we are holding in India for the first time, which is a growing market. And today I have with me Grew Energy's Hiten Parekh, who's going to tell us more about the company and the Indian manufacturing scene. Welcome to TaiyangNews, sir. So tell me about, little bit about Grew Energy.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. It was a wonderful session throughout. I represent Groove Solar, which is part of the Chirpal Group, which is 54 years old. We are one of the India's fastest, youngest module manufacturing company, quickly graduating into cell manufacturing. So by the end of this year, we would probably be 6.5 gigawatt of module manufacturing. Our entire module lines are TOPCon, M10 and G12R. And probably by March 26, we will have our own 3 gigawatt of cell manufacturing in a place called Narmadapuram, which is probably 110 miles from Bhopal. We've produced almost a gigawatt of TOPCon and successfully shipped it this year. And look forward to having another wonderful year in the 25-26.
So any plans to go further backward, like in backward integration?
Yes, as part of our strategy and as a commitment being a successful winner in the PLI bids, so we are obligated to have a cell module up to wafer. And then proactively as a group, we thought that might as well, put in some extra capital, make some more commitments, and also have ingot manufacturing in the coming 3 years as well.
Okay, so it's going to take time right
Yes,
now.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So we want to do step by step because first step we set up a 1.2 gigawatt of modules. We learned from the mistakes. We did better. Then we added quickly another 1.8 gigawatt. So now we are confident. We know what it takes to run a system very effectively, very optimally. That gave us the courage to now step up to another 1.2 gigawatt of 3 lines. So that's 3.6. So that would probably take us to being one of the top manufacturers of TOPCon in the country. And to have a constant supplies for our customers, we feel that we need to keep adding more and more scale. Because India, however, has a lot of gigawatts of module manufacturing, but it also comprises a high volume of P-type monoPERC modules,
Right.
which are typically not what the large grid connected projects in the utilities and open access C&I projects require.
So right now you said your focus is on TOPCon only, but as we see, even as we speak, there is so much of technological innovation happening, and technology is becoming obsolete so quickly.
True.
So what is your future plan, like in terms of technology?
So right now, like I said, we stabilized the first phase of 3 gigawatts with the M10 cells, that is the 182 by 182. And then what we are seeing, and with close interactions from the customers, we feel that the next shift is going to be, the next transition will be the G12R cells, which are like the 210 by 210. And that also means a higher efficiency, a higher wattage, less number of acres of land required for the projects. So the next phase of 3.6 will be dedicated 3.6 gigawatt of G12R modules. And after that, we're probably going to take a pause and look how the conventional or the adjacent technologies are stepping up, like how the HJT market is evolving, how the commercials look like, and then also look at perovskites, how is that segment of the module technology shaping up. So we are being very agnostic, we are being very open. So to have a continual supplies in the market, the TOPCon M10 and G12R will serve the purpose.
Right.
And then beyond it, we'll have to probably take a pulse check after 18 months.
So it's wait and watch right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So also, do you supply your modules outside India, or which are your markets?
As you would know, we are a very young company. This was just our first year of successful operations. So although we have aspirations to go global, so we did participate in Munich exhibition Intersolar last year. And what we understood is, because there's no barriers, the price points for the existing supplies from other countries is very aggressive. It's just doesn't make commercial sense for us. So we chose to step back and keep away from the European markets right now. However, because there's a very strong tariffs on Southeast Asian countries and China, we feel that United States is probably the second most attractive market for a player like us. However, the United States is a long-term market. There's no low-hanging fruits because the market needs you to be bankable. They need your products to have the reliability testing, reliability reports and certifications done. So we are just finalizing the contracts, and maybe in the 10 months, once we have these prerequisite documents, then the customers will start engaging with more, dedicated discussions towards procurement. Right now, it's courtesy meetings and a lot of business development meetings.
Okay. So, speaking of the US market, there is so much of this tariff war happening. How do you think that is going to impact Indian manufacturers or Indian market positively, negatively? How?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a moment where both the American buyers of solar panels and the Indian manufacturers of solar panels will have to, go back to the drawing board, relook at the strategy. Fortunately, our exposure as an Indian fraternity of module companies, it's not too much. I think the highest we've supplied the last year is 4.5 gigawatts, as one of the recent Mercom reports, which came back a few days back. Which means it's 4.5 gigawatts out of 74 gigawatts. So it's probably 5 to 7%. However, also if you see the tariffs on the different countries, the tariffs on India is not very, I mean, it's not end of the road. It requires some corrections in the margins, in the new price points. But compared to the other countries, I still feel India has a very fair chance to keep building the more volumes. And I think once the Indian manufacturers have their own cells, then suddenly the US market is going to look very attractive, because US needs a lot of traceability documents. They need a lot of compliances to existing rules and laws. So I think therefore Indian manufacturers should continue the efforts, because it's a market that teases you, because even before you earn the first dollar, you have to probably invest $500,000 just to be ready for the market. So I think we need to have that discipline, that patience, and constant efforts to really be in the country, learn the rules, keep adapting to the changes, what is happening right now. And I think 12 months later, I think all these investments we and other companies make, it's probably going to recoup with a good margins.
So talking about Indian market, and as you said that the capacity is growing, model capacity is already reached almost 80-90 gigawatt. So there are fears of overcapacity also, because Indian market is itself growing by 25 gigawatt at the most. So how do you see the situation there, and how are you prepared to tackle it?
Yeah, I mean, to think of it, although the nameplate capacity suggests it's a 74 and maybe it reaches 100, but if you see the nature of the manufacturing and the downtime it's required to keep preventing maintenance, to keep doing proper servicing, I believe a fair average output is probably to the tune of 60%. So even if you assume 100 gigawatts, your actual throughput of modules is going to be 60 gigawatts. And then if you see that 60% of the current ALMM listing is all P-type modules, which is quickly phasing out. So it's a serious issue for the investors and the promoters who've invested into these P-type lines. Those who can upgrade these to TOPCon, that will keep running. So if you minus that 60 gigawatts of 60% of P-type lines, then what is remaining is maybe 20-30 gigawatts of TOPCon. And which is just kind of right as to how much India is deploying solar every year.
Okay. So is there final words? Is there, what more can India do to get itself as the next manufacturing hub for solar?
Yeah, I think it's already done a lot. If just there can be less surprises like what happened with the glass ADD issue, because contracts are signed, commitments are made, the bank loans are done. You've agreed and you've committed to a certain IRR to the investors and to the board, and then suddenly you take like a 70 lakhs kind of hit on a megawatt, or sorry, 7 lakhs a megawatt hit it's going to shake your IRR. So I think that is something that
So
can be
long term.
avoided. So I mean, if we can have consistency and a long-term vision, or at least a mid-term vision of stability, I think then the buyers and the sellers, they can both be very, very clear about their strategy and their
Investment certainty will be
commercials.
there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.